The world premiere of Infinity War has happened and I can't wait to talk about it. What's up everybody, I'm Stan and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is going to be kind of a throwback to an earlier format that I used to have. But I'm not just going to stand here and sip my coffee. The Infinity War premiere happened on Monday the 23rd, and overall the reactions have been coming out of the woodwork. When we're talking about this, Thanos has demanded no spoilers. And this is not actually just any kind of joke. This is something that if you've been watching social media, the Russo brothers have been sending out memos to the fans, either via Instagram or Facebook, saying that they really want people to experience this movie as wholeheartedly as they possibly can, with as minimal information, so that way they get the original experience and they don't want other people ruining it. Even including the hashtag Thanos demands your silence, which is pretty cool. I mean, I really appreciate this, and overall the early reactions are just more hype on this. I mean, this is the potential. This movie has the potential to crack $300 million for its opening weekend, and that is just absolutely insane when you're considering that the most watched movie is The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens did over $250 million, and that is because we didn't have a Star Wars movie for like a decade before that, and it had a history, a legacy. However, this is the culmination. Infinity Wars is the grouping of everything that's happened in the last 10 years, and from what I've been reading and what I've been seeing as far as reviews, or at least early reactions are concerned, you really need to be familiar with the MCU in order to get the most out of this movie. It's not anything that you guys don't know, because obviously you follow comic books and you follow comic book movies, but for people that aren't necessarily familiar with this, you're going to get the most out of it if you've seen movies like Iron Man, Captain America, the first Avenger, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, those kind of things, the first Avengers movie, all those main storylines, Thor Ragnarok. This is going to be something that's going to take all of those pieces, wind them together, and create this tapestry that is Infinity War. As far as the things that I've heard that are relatively lowlights, it feels like it's far too fast-paced. There's not enough time to spend with the characters. It's just non-stop action. And while that sounds phenomenal in terms of spectacle, for people that aren't necessarily familiar with all these characters, it might not give them the investment that they need. But there's no doubt about it, Infinity War is going to be a huge event, and it's going to be absolutely insane. If you guys want me to do a review on it and go into a little bit more detail after I see the movie, probably the second time, just hit me up in the comments down below and let me know if that's something that you want me to do. But the other thing that I want to talk about is the Venom trailer that just dropped, and overall, Venom is a character that I am intimately familiar with. I love this character. It was one of the first real villains that I bonded with. Bonded. I mean, I've gone back to the McFarlane runs. I've got Amazing Spider-Man 300. I've got almost every single Venom issue that's out there, part of the Amazing Spider-Man run anyway. And when I saw this trailer, I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna show Venom. And then they showed Venom. And I'm not necessarily going to say I was disappointed, because my expression should say that I was disappointed. I think that the CG is still lacking a little bit for when the movie's going to be coming out. I think that the motion of the actual symbiote suit, I'm not going to deny that it looks considerably better than Topher Grace did in Spider-Man 3, but it still leaves something to be desired, and I think that that's that fluid, liquid nature to the symbiote suit that we've seen from like Mark Bagley and a lot of other people that have really put their mark on Venom. So I am not 100% behind Venom. I'm really hoping that it's going to be better than I really think it's going to be, but Sony recently, other than having the wisdom to partner up with Marvel to actually make the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, hasn't really given me a lot of confidence as to what they know about how to execute on a Spider-Man film. They did a phenomenal job on Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man 2. The first Amazing Spider-Man was very good, but they've always kind of shot themselves in the foot once it gets past that initial opening shot. So I'm tentatively anticipating Venom, or at least a little bit more context and a little bit more refined CG regarding that character. Of course, we do have Marvel movie announcements that are beyond that. I did do a recent movie talking about Avengers Infinity War and beyond. So Phase 4 and the different prospects, and inside that video I actually talked about the Eternals, Moon Knight, and Nova. And those are all three things that Kevin Feige has talked about putting into active production. So the Eternals is in active production. They're exploring the possibility of a script and those kind of things that are going along with that, and then also you have Nova, which he says could make an immediate impact on the Marvel MCU. And then we've got Moon Knight, which I think is still a little bit better suited for the Netflix universe, but as a Moon Knight movie, it could be a really interesting, much more localized version of those things. However, One of the things that we've continually gotten from Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios is that they're focused on the immediate things. So they're focused on Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and of course Avengers 4. So while these things are probably in development at some point in time, a lot of things are in development. They've got the next 10, 15 years worth of Marvel movies kind of on the drawing board at this point in time. The real big focus is to make sure that Infinity War lands and hits as hard as it should be, and that they support that movie for as long as they can to ramp up for Avengers 4. So while we are super excited, and I'm super excited that you've got these ideas that I had in my head that are kind of coming to fruition, but what I'm really focused on is what's going to happen when I see Avengers Infinity War and how that's going to impact me, my understanding of the MCU, and possibly influence how I'm going to look at comic books going back into things. I think it'd be a really cool concept for me to go back and see what comic books you really need to read after Avengers Infinity War in order to kind of prepare yourself for where Avengers 4 is going to go. That is a really interesting idea, and I want to know what you guys think, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation talking about the MCU, talking about the future of those movies, talking about what the possibility of a review video and those kind of things are. Give me your feedback. Thanos demands your feedback. So if you want to hit me up in the comments, that'd be great. Make sure that if you liked the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.